Hello, and thanks for stopping by the Sister Cousins Lifestyle channel. My name is Sandy, and in today's video, we are going to be around the house, continuing on with my spring cleaning and decorating series. It's a rainy, cloudy, nasty day here, and so I'll be spending the day inside, just kind of going from room to room, doing some things. I've got some things to do here in my studio. I've got some things to do in my guest bathroom. So if you'd like to see what I'm getting into today and decorate with me, keep watching. So in a previous video, I had shared that I was creating like a gallery wall in my studio. So I have some more art that I'm going to go ahead and put up on the wall. So that's one of the first things that I'm going to be getting in today, is finally going ahead and put that up on here to kind of create that gallery wall that I'm envisioning for this area. I love the concept of a gallery wall. And previously I had a gallery wall right at the top of my stairs, and I got tired of that. So I decided to kind of reshift the focus of the gallery wall and move it into this area. And I am loving the way that it's turning out. And I said the theme for this wall is just going to be all the things that I love, but it's actually coming together in sort of a theme that was not my intent, but that is what it is. So this one piece of art here is very colorful. It is a picture of the Christ the Redeemer statue, which is located in Rio de Janeiro, and those are the favelas. I visited Brazil many, many times, and I fell in love with the culture there and the housing there. And even though the people in the favelas are very, very poor, they are so happy, and I just love their spirits and just all of the things. So I did purchase this art on one of my visits there, and I've had this piece of art now for a long time, but I'm finally giving it a home in my home. So I'm hanging it here on my gallery wall. And where I said that my gallery wall is kind of starting to take on a theme, I'm going with some black and white pictures because I love black and white, but I'm also adding some color in. And yeah, so I'm really liking that, how that's all kind of pulling together. And I'm going to show you something that kind of ties everything together, which again was not the intent. It just kind of happened that way, but I love it. Now, this piece of art I've shared before over on the channel, and it's a piece that I purchased on a recent vacation to Jacksonville, Florida. I met the artist while I was there, and we had a long talk, and she shared the meaning behind her painting. And it was just about being out in the wilderness and enjoying nature. And so I just loved the conversation that we had, and I fell in love with the art piece, and so I purchased it. And I'm just going to place some color all around the room. And so I had this book, Afro Chic, which is a black designer book that I own. And I thought it would be beautiful here. That orange looks so good next to that green wall. One thing that I've been working on around my home since I've been here, which has been 8 years now, and that is to kind of replace some of the builder grade things that are around the house that kind of change up the look of everything. So lighting has been one of my major focuses. I've also been focusing on my electrical outlet covers here. This one here has just been standing out now, kind of like a sore thumb ever since I had this wall painted green. And so this is a very inexpensive change here. You can get these things for as little as a couple dollars, just depending on what you want to go with. But anyway, I went to Lowe's. I picked up some black ones, which I thought would be really a nice color because it'll match or blend in nicely with the frames that I'm using, which are black frames. And then the black, of course, goes really nicely with this dark green. I am not a handy person at all, but this is super easy. It's 4 screws in there. You take the 4 screws out, you put the new plate on, and pop 4 new screws in. It is that simple, and even I can do it. So I'm just changing this out. Like I said, I did get the double outlet from Lowe's. I wish that the two, I don't know what you call those, the pull downs or whatever, were black as well, but they're not, and it's okay. But I really like the way that looks. So it just kind of creates more of a polished or uniform look, and I love that. Now, I was browsing on Etsy the other day, and I saw some of their art pieces, and this piece here I fell in love with. You know, I have a thing for horses. I love horses, and I just thought this was a beautiful piece. So I purchased the print from Etsy. It was about $6, I believe, to purchase it. I went to Staples and had it printed out and framed. I just put just a normal little cheap frame around it, and I think that's such a pretty piece, and I love it right here on my new gallery wall. So if you cannot find a piece of art that you want in the stores, check out Etsy, buy your print, and just have it it printed out, it works out just fine. So then I wanted to go in with some new pillows. So I did purchase 2 new pillow covers off of Amazon. That's my go-to spot because you can get them so inexpensive. But I thought these were so pretty. And since I have the pops of the black and white in here, I thought that would be a perfect addition. I am in the midst of several projects in my home at the moment, but one of them is to redo my guest bathroom. So this is the bathroom before. It just kind of was just regular schmegular. It was all builder grade lighting, the builder grade paint, all of the things. And so slowly but surely I'm making my way through my home, kind of getting everything painted, getting some decent paint on there and changing out these light fixtures and all of the things. So this is phase 1 for this bathroom. So we're going to start off with getting everything cleaned and painted for a start. And I did have some paint left over from my previous painting, which is the color alpaca. So that is the color that I will be using in this bathroom. I'm going to be using all the paint that I currently have. So you'll see some of the repeat colors that I've used in the home downstairs. But I'm just not trying to waste any paint. So this is the starting process. Get everything cleaned up and freshly painted. And then the decorating can begin. Everything is painted now. And I'm going in now with my new shower curtain. I shared this shower curtain about a month or so ago. I picked it up at the Pottery Barn outlet. And I just love the colors in here. And it matches perfectly with the new paint color. So here I am putting these curtains up here, and then you're going to see me go ahead with a regular sheer that I'm going to put all the way up to the ceiling. I love the way that that looks in a bathroom, and so that's what I'm trying to do to make this bathroom look nice and pretty for spring. Off camera, I steam cleaned the floors in here and cleaned the tiles down and everything after all the painting was done. So now the decorating process is in full effect here, and I'm trying to see how I can get this pole all the way up to the top here, well, as high as possible. So I have a 96-inch sheer here, and you can see that it is the color brown. Now keep watching because some things are going to really change here in just a few minutes. Sometimes when I'm decorating, I just let things kind of play out knowing that it's not going to work, but I just keep rolling with it just to make sure before I switch gears. I'm on the home stretch of my spring cleaning, and I am so happy about that. I basically just have 2 more bedrooms to do, and then I will be officially done, and that's going to be fairly easy for those rooms because those are rooms that are not utilized, so not a lot to do in there except for a lot of dusting and vacuuming and cleaning carpets. But other than that, that's about it. So that should not be so bad. When I go through the process of them, I am planning to, refresh it and change out the comforters and things like that just to ready those rooms for the springtime, but that's not going to be bad. That's the fun part. I enjoy that part so much. So here I am now going in with these towels here. These are towels that I already had, and so I'm just kind of putting them on here to see how they will work. And the mind is spinning right now. I must admit, the mind is spinning. I'm not a traditional girl in that I use non-traditional colors most often for when I'm decorating seasonally or whatever. So brown is not typically a color that you're going to see used for the spring, but I love it. All right, so it didn't take long for me to realize that the brown was just not doing what it needed to do. So I quickly aborted that idea, switched over to black. So I put some black panels up here. Love them much better. But of course, whenever you change focuses like that, that kind of starts a spiraling effect. And in this case, the spiral effect meant going back out to try to find some more black accessories to put in this bathroom. I know that was not the plan, but here we are. So I went to Home Goods and I was looking for wall art for the bathroom. And now that we're doing black, I wanted something that's gonna, blend in with that. So I picked up a couple things. I did not want to get black rugs. I'll say that because black rugs just haven't done well for me in the bathroom. They kind of pick up lint and all of the things. They're kind of hard to keep together. So I didn't get green, but I already had some gray ones, so I'm going to try those in there. But I did pick up a new garbage can, which is black, and this one is it's not, well, it might be stone, I don't know, but you see the red tag here. It was on clearance for $24. It's by Tahari, but I love the texture in it. I don't know if you can see that. So nice. Love that. So pick that up, and that should last a good long while. I also picked up a new toilet brush. I always switch out my toilet brushes quite a bit, actually. This one was not on clearance, but was $14.99, and it's just a matte black. I prefer matte black. I also picked up a piece of wall art, which I was excited about. I really like this. This here, and you see the red tag. So I went directly to the clearance trying to find what I could find that I liked. Now, I had seen this piece in there before, but I was like, I don't really have any place for it to go. And so here it is now that I'm doing this black in this bathroom. And I think this is going to be really, really pretty in there. What else did I pick up? I picked up, these are for the powder room. I like to use the paper hand towels like this in there. And these have magnolias on them. I got these off of Amazon. But I'm going to show you what they look like. They're so pretty. I didn't get them open. Maybe they had these things packed. Woo-wee. They wouldn't have had it packed this good if they had been glass or something fragile. I mean, it's just some paper. Okay, so it is a double pack. But you can see here the magnolias on it. You know I love my magnolias. Let's try to get rid of that glare. Can you see those? Those are so pretty. So pretty. And perfect for the spring. So if you're going with dark colors in your home, as I do all the time, you know, you can still add the pops of spring by doing something like this. So I liked that. I also picked up a candle. It would not be me if I didn't. All right, so I picked up this candle here. I love the packaging on it. And this one is old-fashioned scent. I'm actually probably going to use this downstairs in the kitchen since I'm using some browns down there. But I picked that up and I thought it was so nice. Love the packaging on here. And it smells really good. It is just a single wick. I typically like the, you know, at least a triple wick, but it smells so good. And it's got a different scent to it. So like that. And then also for downstairs, I found this little cocktail cookbook or recipe book, I guess I should say. But it's got different little cocktails and things that you can make them as mocktails or cocktails or whatever you want to do. But I just thought that was such a nice little add. Since I always do a bar cart in my home, this will be a nice little thing here. And then I can go through it from time to time if I want to do something a little fancy every now and then. This one was $14.99 at Home Goods. So now let's go ahead and get all this stuff put up. Okay, so we're going to start with the artwork, and I'm just using the painter's tape method here to put the tape across the artwork and mark where the nails need to go. I find it easier to hang pictures like this, and I do have a leveler to help me to make sure that the artwork is balanced. So I'm going to temporarily remove these towels here so that I can add this artwork right over the towel rack, and I'm purposely hanging it higher just because I don't want it to interfere as you take your towels off or whatever. So it will be a little bit higher than what I would normally hang art, but I love the way that it looks. So now I'm going in with my garbage bag here and my new garbage can, and we're going to go ahead and place that on the floor here. We've got our rug down and everything. We've got our toilet brush here, and everything is looking really nice. I really like the gray rugs. There's gray in the shower curtain, so it's all pulling together, so I do like that. And yeah, I'm very happy with the way that it's looking in here right now. So I had another rug to go right in front of the bathroom vanity. And so now I'm going ahead and decorating the vanity here. I have that black vase. I have this black tray. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to put on top of here. So I had this bunch of peonies, and I thought they would be perfect to bring in here for that touch of spring in this area. And they haven't been used in a little while, so I will have to play around with them to get them arranged the way that I want them. So on the tray, I put this candle here. This is the elephant candle by Thompson Ferrier. I've had this for several years, and this is pretty much finished here, but I'm going to get the last little burn out of this if I can. And you see that I did decide to put some of those Magnolia hand towels in here as well. And then I put my soap dispenser there. This thing does not want to burn, but once I get it finished out for sure. I'm going to just take all the wax out of it, and I'm going to utilize this dispenser, this candle holder or whatever. Those candles cost too much money to just throw that away. The other one that I have, I'm currently using as my makeup brush. Not sure what I'm going to be using this one for, but it'll be something. But in the meantime, I've got the bathroom here completed for now. I will have to come back in and do a few more things later because I did not get the light switch switched out. And I also think that I want to go with a shelf or cabinet, on wall cabinet or something like that behind the toilet. Haven't quite decided that yet, but I've got time to figure that out. I don't have any guests scheduled here right away, so that'll be good. I do want to change that light switch out, but I'm liking the colors. I'm liking the way everything has come together. And I want to point out that the doors here, I did have them painted in that urbane bronze. I had some of that left over from my other paint job, and so I decided, why not just add that to the doors in here. I think this is a beautiful color, and it ties in nicely with the cabinets and the countertops in here. So I thought that was a good use of the remainder of that paint. So that's what I have going on in here, and I think everything has come together pretty nicely. I'm satisfied with it. There will definitely be another phase of this space, as I mentioned, and a lot of my projects, I tend to do them in phases like that. It's just more economical for me to do it in pieces rather than just trying to do everything at the same time. That's real life for me over here. So if that's something that you are into, budget friendly decorating or whatever, and you are not currently subscribed, I would like to ask that you would consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave today. If you like the video, also give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, share the video out. And if you are a returning family member, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope to see you all over here on the next one. Now, I don't know what we're going to be doing in the next video, but it's going to be something around home decorating or shopping for home decorating inspiration. You know how we do over here. But I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.